a voice for the American people.
Uncertainty out of the war in Iran now that we are a month. And so we've seen oil prices bounce back over the course of this week. And when it comes to the stock market, again, you have a lot of investors saying, we don't know if there's light at the end of this tunnel. Yeah, absolutely. We're not in a recession right now. But again, if this is more prolonged, you have global inflation that could go up.
8 years of the crash is coming, and the economy keeps showing up like that one guy at the party who wasn't even invited and somehow still has a great time anyway. I'm Dan French. I spend a lot of time digging into money, economy, and how real people make decisions every day are shaped by what the headlines are saying, not the noise, not the fear. What's actually happening? And today we're going to go through the last 8 years of recession predictions and figure out why smart people with expensive degrees and Bloomberg terminals keep getting this wrong. Let's get into this. Recession is guaranteed, but when? Analysis by David Goldman, March 30th, 2026. Workers prepare a tanker truck to unload a delivery of gasoline at a Costco gas station in Hawthorne, California on March 18th. The U.S. economy is under strain and the oil price shock could tip it over into recession. People are preparing themselves for the fact that we're already in a recession now, or that there is a high likelihood we will soon be in one, said Hadi Farag, a partner and associate director of Boston Consulting Group. The problem, timing a recession is extraordinarily hard. How do we know? That was a quote from a CNN story in July of 2022. It goes on to say, that's when oil was last over $100 and gas prices averaged about $5 a gallon. But the U.S. economy didn't go into recession in 2022, or in 2023, or in 24, or in 25. There's a reason to be concerned now. President Donald Trump's economic agenda, including his tariffs and immigration policy, created a cloud of uncertainty. And now we're contending with high energy prices with preceded 8 of the past 9 recessions. People are still very concerned about the trade war, said Dan Suzuki. And if you look at this, whoops, that came from financial markets are increasingly showing signs of fear of recession. Economists have predicted or warning a recession every single year for the past 8 years, and they were only right once, kind of. Okay, I also want to look at this article. Moody recession model is just 1% point away from the signal that has never been wrong. Moody's AI recession model shows 49% odds of recession, just shy of 50% threshold that's preceded every year recession in 80 years of back-tested data. When you look at a recession, do I feel that this is going to happen in 2026? I do not. Now, there's other key factors and things and indicators that a lot of economists look at. The key-shape theory. You also have the front-loading. And when we're talking with Trump about putting out tariffs, so you need to go get or buy cheaper now at a higher cost. You have the inverted curve rule. You have the Claudia Sam rule. Why hasn't the U.S. gone into recession? The housing, commercial sectors, shipping, trucking, you look at tech, all of these have gone into a rolling recession where it's not a full-blown recession. Energy, all of these scale back, which doesn't allow us to go fully into a full-on recession. Okay, so let's talk about the K-shaped theory, why that's important, because we're seeing a bigger separation between the top and the bottom. The top are people that are maybe investors and they spend money, they have 401k, they save, maybe they're investing into stocks, or they're homeowners, they have assets. Those people are traditionally the ones rewarded from this K-shaped theory, where if you have the bottom leg of that, that's going to be people that are renters. Those are people that maybe don't have a lot of money saved. Maybe they have high debt and they're just maybe a little bit more in a struggling position. We do know that the top 20% earners account for about 40% of GDP. And so when you talk about gross domestic product, those top 20% earners, or the wealthier Americans in society, they can actually carry GDP and hold us steady for a while until the economy comes back. So because there's that big separation, even though there is one and it's getting greater every single year, the top 20% of earners can keep GDP afloat. I mean, if you go back to our timeline, every single year for 8 years, we've been told by PhDs, very smart people, that a recession's coming every single year, and it just doesn't happen. So we're back here in 2026. So here's the real truth about the economy. It's uneven, it's uncertain, and it has real pain for real people. But it's also more resilient than the narrative wants you to believe. Because the narrative wants you to be scared. Scared people click more. Scared people watch more. Scared people are easier to sell to. The most rebellious thing you could do today when you hear news like this is just to stay calm. Do the boring things. Keep investing, keep building, stay in the game. Not because everything's fine, because they aren't sometimes. It's because panicking is not a strategy. The economy is not crashing because the wealthy keep spending. That accounts for about 40% of our GDP. So these warnings give people alert and time to brace. But people today are more adaptable and more resourceful than ever now. Economists will continue to measure what happened last time, and humans respond to this time, and they respond differently every time. That's the gap, and that's entirely human. That's my thought on this. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. This is the Dan French Show. Let me know. We'll see you guys at the next one.